We're here on a mission to raise awareness about ecological and conservation problems that Southern Africa is experiencing. Although it looks like the Garden of Eden, the wet delta poses many challenges to animals, including making it difficult to move from place to place, leading to these areas becoming overgrazed, as well as poaching, pollution, and do we even have to mention climate change? The aim of this project is to monitor changes in animal populations over time to see how they are affected by human activities.
We're going into a period where there's going to be huge changes. And with climate change and the change in water availability, it's going to create a lot of competition for humans, for livestock and for wildlife to share the water resource.
This is the only project in the area that does such needed and important research, as well as runs volunteer project that lets passionate nature lovers from all over the world experience life in the bush, learn the basics of research and collecting data, and offer local team much needed physical and financial support. We're taking notes of all the tracks that we find. So far, in just under 20 minutes, we discovered prints of 2 wild dogs, wild cat, a leopard, and a cheetah. Isn't that incredible?
Living with wildlife comes with a very high cost. People living in a different environment wants to dictate to the people living on the ground with these animals how they should live with them without realizing what are the practical issues of daily living with these animals. In this last 50 years, people learned a lot about how to deal with the conflict and make it better and easier for people and wildlife to live together.
We just found kudu's horn. Pretty impressive. Look how twisted it is. This research is fully funded by the volunteer project, and with their contribution, the project is able to provide salaries to staff and ecologists, vehicles and fuel. Volunteers help with the research directly. You start your day with beautifully brightly red sunrise, quick tea or coffee, some snacks, and the team hops on the open safari car. Do you think you have the guts to experience life in the bush, to get fully disconnected from the outside world? Let me know in the comments if you think you'll be up for this challenge. Everyone is responsible for watching out for animals, but there are also 2 special roles, such as using a rangefinder to establish the distance and inputting the data into the Cyber Tracker app. Okay, so this is a moment of real science. We found a group of 3 warthogs.
What's the distance?
And a group of 6 lechui. And we're using this gadget that is called a rangefinder, which is helping us to establish the distance between the vehicle and the animals. We just spotted this giraffe, so now I'm gonna enter the data. We're collecting information such as sex, type of species, distance on the road, distance from the vehicle to the animal, and all this information will then help us to protect those species. Data captured. After working and volunteering with animals for over 10 years, this project is a different level of heart. It is a real challenge for the overactive mind like mine, a real test for you focus and concentration, and a real experiment on how present you can be. While of course we're here doing important research on wildlife, it is also you that you get to research. Who are you? Why are you here? What is your part of this, of nature? Where do you stand on important topics like poaching, hunting, freedom of animals, conservation, tourism? You might be struck with the reality of what some local people think on those topics, but it really helps you to see the perspective, to understand that every story and every problem has at least 2 sides, if not more.